to Columbia, Missouri, and Faurot Field named for the father of the split T, where the Missouri Tiger fans are hoping that they put together a big W. What a game and what potential drama we have in store. You've seen this script before. Top 10 team goes into a cauldron of emotion on the road and just hopes to be able to get out and tell about it. As we'll see the #1 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on another team from the SEC, the Missouri Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. LSU will put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. Not going to give him a chance to make a play as they boot that thing through the end zone. A first down for the offense. He'll start this drive firing. Quickly out to the tight end. And that had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first? This offense has a second down play. To the ground with the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
Third down conversion's always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. Firing to the right, complete. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
He's looking to throw it. Going to try to pop one on the screen. They make the stop, but a good pickup there on first down.
Well, you've seen the last 2 plays now. This guy's versatility. You've seen why he might be playing on Sundays in the not-too-distant future. This guy can catch the ball. He's a big part of their passing game, and he's a weapon, and a guy this defense has got to be ready for.
The give from the gun. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Missouri wants to go fast. Out of the gun, the inside give. And he's ridden to the ground, but there's also a flag down. Let's check the call. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. The quick out. And he'll be marked down, but he's got enough to move the chains.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
On the ground with the counter. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here.
Now I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But they got to do a great job gang tackling because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
They'll come to the line for the 8th snap on this opening drive, facing a 3rd and short. Trying to turn the corner on the right. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the first down.
Really nice job on 3rd down by this offense. This offense has struggled on 3rd downs throughout the season. Not even in the top 50, but you know what? When you make it 3rd and short, when you have the run-pass option and you're not predictable, you can be more successful. So let's see if this offense can continue to put themselves in good positions.
He's going to pass. He looks that one in nicely, and he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
The running back has it. Finally pulled down, but not before moving the chains for a first down.
And that's all you want, right? You want that first down. Understand the situation. Understand I got to get north and south, get a first down, get a new set of downs.
The Tigers with the 1st and 10. The give, and he's looking for room behind the left tackle. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Line gets set, first down. He wants to throw it. They'll run the screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
On 2nd down, looking to throw. He's got it. Nowhere to go, and not much to show for that one.
Glass half full, glass half empty, guys. Obviously great, they got a completion. We prefer that over incompletions or interceptions. The glass half empty. I mean, they made that 3rd down a bit more manageable, but not by much.
The relentless emptying of the playbook on this opening drive has now finally hit a wall. It's 3rd and long. Quick strike complete. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
And it's no good. He missed it. Kicker couldn't quite get it through, and the scoreboard remains the same. This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Give to the running back. He'll push his way out to the 30, a pickup of 3. LSU right back to the line. The give to the back. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line.
Just a simple power play. Power football. Be strong, be big, be physical. Make it a 4th quarter game. Make them feel you. Keep them off balance.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Just going to keep it after the snap. Gets it to the 42-yard line, and that's a first down. comes this offense with a fresh set of downs. Now he's looking to throw it. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all off season, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
They've really performed at an elite level in conference play, and that'll build your confidence as we continue through this SEC season.
This was a team that was really motivated in the offseason coming into this one, and they knew the challenge ahead of them, but they also know how talented they are. And, David, they're putting that on display each and every week here in SEC play.
And let's pump the brakes, because if they're happy with what they've done so far, they're going to have some losses. Like, this is a tough league. The SEC is not easy to navigate. They're going to have to continue to grow and get better, but it's a heck of a start.
LSU will bring the punt team on the field. First one of the day is booted away. They ran him out there 4 times in the victory last week. Cover guys getting down to do their job, and they'll stop him at the 15. Mizzou has it back in the offense coming out on the field. We talk about settling for points, but sometimes when you have to settle for nothing, David, it can be demoralizing.
Yeah, it can definitely be frustrating. And I think it leads you to say maybe I go for it more. But, Jesse, I think this offense just needs to put another drive together and just finish stronger.
Yeah, and be a little bit less predictable, too, especially as they get closer and closer down to the end zone.
So after the first down run, here's second down. From the gun, running back on the move. They get him on the ground after he gets enough to move the sticks. Missouri gets to the line quickly. Comes out throwing on first down. Going up top. Oh, and it's a pick. He threw it right into the double coverage. Couldn't find much breathing room to return it, but the interception has this offense in business at the 27.
As a quarterback, you've got to give your receiver an opportunity to make the play. You've got to put the ball on his body. And that throw gets away a little bit from the QB, and that leads to the tip and the interception.
Getting some heat. Takes a hit as he fires. And the ball is intercepted. Going the other way, and he's got room. Touchdown, Tiger. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return.
And they come up with a huge pick six, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Miami had a dominant win, the kind the folks in South Florida were used to in 2001 when Ken Dorsey, Clinton Portis, and Jeremy Shockey led the Canes to a national title. Talk about a special team. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way. But I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. They'll start this drive with a pass. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Finds his big tight end. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. Back to pass, it's Collins. And it's picked off. Not able to get loose on the return, but what a play to put his team in business at the 33.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays. And I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw at this drive.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. He's got his man. Finds a crease at the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Tigers. That touchdown gives his team a pretty significant lead at this point.
And that's what you want. You want to start fast. You want everything to come out, start clicking, make some plays. It doesn't always work that way, but when you do, man, the energy, the crowd, everybody's into it. Now the other team better respond.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They got the ball in great field position and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Will run the offense out onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Back to pass, it's Collins. They're bringing heat. Quickly complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots in the zones. You got to get him involved.
It's 3rd down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. Fights off a defender. Can anyone? And runs through another one. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. He ran through tackles like water through a sieve.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And he knows how to finish in style, a 66-yarder to the house. Looks like he's going to try to return it. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Mizzou has it back on the offense coming out on the field. They took their time out of the gate, but now starting to try to take control of this game on offense here in the 2nd quarter, Jesse.
Yeah, and they're playing good complementary football up to this point, but this is a huge opportunity, David, for them to really create some momentum.
Well, and the defense did such a good job keeping them in the game early. Now, holding down their end. Now get the offense rolling, put up some points on the scoreboard, and then you could really get dangerous in this ballgame.
Extending the play. Slings it downfield. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
It's the 2-minute warning, and we'll see if the offense can tack a little something extra on their lead before the break. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Trying play action. That's reeled in. It's Lacey. Oh, what a move! He'll work his way down to the 28.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. Missouri wants to go fast. On 2nd down, just keeps firing. Got a man, it's Manning. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Everything seems to be working for this offense right now, and if they keep this up, this could get ugly by the 4th quarter.
Mizzou coming out with a fresh set of downs. Going to the running game. He locked up and held on to bring him down. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to be.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Oh, picked off. Looking for more room. The 40. The 30. He's at the 10. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, LSU. This time it's the defense finding ways to put points on the board.
There is nothing better than being a defender, seeing that ball in the end zone, your eyes get big as saucers, go, jump on that puppy, secure it, get you a touchdown.
And the extra point was good. And that extra point was good, and we're all tied up here in the 2nd. So they got the touchdown, and as they kick off, really important for the defense to shut them down here. And he's coming out of the end zone. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. That last pick six after a drive like that, David, can swing the momentum of a game.
The defense is still celebrating. I mean, such a big play. I mean, they gave up some yards but did what they're supposed to do. Now, Jesse, this offense has to put a drive together.
Yeah, they have to recapture some momentum here. What they can't do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back.
2nd and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Trying to get to it. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Now facing a 3rd and long. The snap sets up the throw. A little screen to the running back. At the 35, he's loose. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. Quarterback checking off. Trying to find his man on 1st down. And he pulls it in inside the 15-yard line. Touchdown, Missouri! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is big return. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Corner's going to give them room. And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out. The delay of game pushes the offense back. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Bunch formation for these receivers. Looking for a man. It's Collins. Unloads it downfield. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock.
And the offense clearly saying, we want to take those deep shots. We want to be aggressive. And I think that's a good strategy because it makes the defense really honor what you're going to do. And just missed a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if this offense finds a way to come back to some of those deep ones.
He wants to pass it on second down. Pressure is all over him, and he can't get it off. Down he goes, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. And the Tigers will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. He thought about bringing that out for half. Take a knee, and they'll bring it to the 25. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Tight game as we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the second half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
He lets one fly deep. And a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion. And yet another Bayou Bengal baller on the outside who can just go get it.
And if I'm a quarterback, man, I love throwing to these guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to fit it in the box. I I know my receiver out wide will make plays. LSU has had guy after guy after guy that you can name that can do that, and they might just have another one.
And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.
When you're a defense, it is stop the run first. That is your first responsibility. It makes the whole game easy. And right now, they got it going on the ground. The defense is going to change something up. These little tiny dink and dunk, dink and dunk. You keep doing this, they'll go all the way down the field on you, so you might want to get a little bit more aggressive.
Give him 109 yards on the ground, and he's been terrific all season, ranking in the top 10 in rushing. Ball at the 31, third and short, coming defense trying to rise up. A designed run for the quarterback. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
Man, that quarterback can go. Just another guy in another system all across college football. All quarterbacks nowadays, they got so much speed, it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, that has to be exhausting for the defensive lineman trying to chase down guys like that.
It's silly because even when it's a design play and it's a design run like here, fine. But then it's scramble plays and then it's passing plays. He's always a runner. Just exhausting.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Out of the gun, the give to the back. Works his way ahead for about 3. It's down at the 8. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Delivers the contact. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, LSU. The AT unit on the field. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Mizzou has it back on the offense coming out on the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
You open a drive like that, and you've got some operating room. It's first down from the 38. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Quick pass on the fly motion. Breaks the tackle. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to push passes.
Hit the afterburners, kid. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
The Tigers getting set on 1st and 10. Quick handoff. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Missouri gets to the line quickly.
Well, you got to give the defense credit. They knew a big key in this one was slowing this dude down, especially after how well he played the last time out. They have been swarming him. They have been gang tackling him and getting a lot of penetration up front.
Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He was smelling that end zone, and they get him Just another big play for this guy who spent the entire game wide open. Couple of touchdowns there, and he moves the sticks again, David.
Yeah, so I'll keep finding him, Reese. I mean, this is a guy that, listen, we're in the second half now. He's already made plays. I know I can trust him, so I'm going to continue to feature him in this offense because I know he'll continue to make big plays.
On 1st and goal, Missouri will try to strike Pater. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up. Tries again to get it in. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on 3rd here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
So they got nothing on the last play. Here's 3rd and goal from the 1. On the ground. Touchdown, Tigers! They take the lead with the 6. That trip to the end zone is 25th career touchdown.
Just has a nose for the end zone. This dude's made big play after big play for his offenses, and that's 25 touchdowns, Palmer, on the ground for the Big Five.
Pretty impressive, too, when you consider when you get close to that end zone, the defense is expecting run, they're loading the boxes. Still, this guy's been able to find his way in. 25, it's a nice number.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big top 25 matchup. Iowa was able to finish off a close one in Iowa City today. They did just enough both offensively and defensively to come away with the dub. Hey, survive and advance. Really unexpected outcome in this ranked-on-ranked matchup. The type of loss, guys, that'll get the attention of even a good football team.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here in the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
2nd down coming up. Give to the running back. Brought down, but looks as if LSU will pick up the 1st down. There's no need to panic or anything, but this would be a really opportune time to put something together and try to take control of this game.
And sometimes you just come out as the favorite, and you're a little bit flat, and you expect to win. And sometimes that leads to slow starts, but I think if they can get that passion, that adrenaline, they get a little fired up right here, I think they'll take care of business.
And they just got to make a play. They just got to get something positive to happen here, sort of wake them up, and then put another play back-to-back, and all of a sudden they get that momentum going. We know they've got the dudes. They've got the studs on both sides of the ball to win this football game. It just needs to start with one spark.
Bunch formation trying to confuse the secondary. He's looking to throw. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
Got to give this defense credit, man. They've been so good in the back end in coverage. They basically gave nothing away in the 1st half. And here they are in the 2nd half defending a deep ball.
As they come to the line on 3rd and short from the 43, I wonder if they already know they'll go for it if they don't make it here. From the gun, wants to pass. Going back to the well, another deep ball. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
And I like the aggressiveness on 3rd and short, trying to throw the football, take advantage of a look that they got. They weren't successful, and now it's 4th and short territory. Who knows what they're going to do?
Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. That is coverage just the way you draw it up. Don't even let him get started, and they knock him down deep in his own end. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it up, just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
Just what the doctor ordered to get away from the shadow of that goalpost and pick up a 1st down at the 23. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He leaves it with his back. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Missouri 28, LSU 21.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw. Got his man on the right. And they do a really good job. Not as easy as it looks to get those blocks. And he picks up the 1st down.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
Missouri comes to the line with another 1st down. Coming after it. Setting up the screen. Turns it on in midfield. Giving him his pads. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
Phenomenal play call by the offensive coordinator. You're calling screen passes to take advantage of a good pass rush, and that's exactly what happened. The offensive linemen, they just let those defensive ends run up the field. Quarterback did a perfect job holding on to the ball to the last possible second, getting it out to his running back, and man, that running back had a convoy out ahead of him.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Nice job recognizing the route defensively there. As soon as that ball was thrown, that defender knew exactly who it was going to, and he was able to make the tackle at the perfect time. No gain on that one.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. Looking for room. It's Lacey. A run up the middle is stopped for no gain. The Tigers will hustle to the line. On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. The throw. Makes his connection. Touchdown, Tigers! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. They're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire, you might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
He's brought down at the 29 after a 10-yard gain.
I tell you what, with this kind of success on the ground, I think you two knuckleheads could call plays. I mean, that's how easy it is for this offense right now. They got the ground game working. It's really easy. Now you can open up for other things, but you guys could even try your hand because they're dominating right now.
He'll come out throwing on first down. Quarterback adapting. He'll pull it down. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future.
A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. They'll try to get the first through the air. Oh, he makes the catch. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker. LSU with the 1st and 10 here. Here's the handoff. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball. Their guys holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and third down is coming.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Time to take a shot. That ball is intercepted at the goal line. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the 4th quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over.
They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. At the 35, he's got room. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Brings up 2nd down.
Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Fast motion from the offense. The hand to the running back. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
Big 3rd down for this defense. Listen, you've got to get the ball back. You know what they're doing. They're trying to run the football, but we need the clock to be on our side so our offense has some time. Got to make a stand right here on 3rd down.
3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is
fires toward the end zone. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
And the defense is playing with a sense of urgency right now. Obviously, they're playing with the lead. They know this offense needs to find a way to generate points, expecting a shot on that last play, so nice job in coverage.
And the incompletion brings up a 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He'll take another shot here. And it's grabbed for the late touchdown. And how about this? It's not over yet.
And listen, still a ways to go. But great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a 1-possession game. We got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stopped? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Rutgers is currently working from behind, but how many times have we said that and then witnessed something special happen? This time of year, you just never know. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Washington. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Caught near the sideline. It's Manning. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. On 2nd down, wants to throw. Oh, looked upfield too soon and dropped the football, and it'll be 3rd down.
Looked like the offense had a chance for a big play there, but the running back just could not reel that ball in.
Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Tigers.
You always hear the old saying, tips lead to picks. Quarterbacks have got to be careful. You've got to be so accurate with the ball. If you're not, and a defender tips that thing up into the air, bad things generally happen. Pick 6. Doesn't get much worse than that.
And that extra point was good, and we are deadlocked here in the 4th. Here comes the kickoff as we are all tied up in the 4th quarter. If you can do that, I don't know why you don't do it every time. Reduce the risk. Banged it out of the back of the end zone. They'll put it in play at the 25. Mizzou has it back in the offense coming out on the field. There's enough time to get the ball down the field here, David, but you've got to make sure you're efficient and avoid mistakes.
Yeah, and those 2-minute drills, you always talk about the first down, Jesse. Get that first down, stop the clock, get some momentum going on offense.
Yeah, and good decision-making by the quarterback, too, right? You don't have to be greedy in this situation. Just take what the defense gives you and get yourself in position to win.
That linebacker saw the express lane right to the ball carrier.
And a great job by the defensive line getting some push, making them use their resources on him. Linebacker comes free, boom, and making the backfield for a tackle for a loss.
Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking for a deep man. And this is going to be intercepted. A big play in a tie game. Takes it the other way. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Tigers. How about that D coming up with a play like that?
What a play by this defense. The offense going in to take the lead. No. Flip the script. The big pick six. Now you're leading in this ball game. What a play by the D.
The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Not going to get a return here. They'll bring it out to the 25 as the kickoff sails through the back of the end zone. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. There's plenty of time to work with here, but they have to be highly efficient in their attack, Jesse.
So it comes down to the quarterback.
Makes the catch down the right side. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Looking to move it through the air. He wants a big play here late. And that is his 5th interception. If he comes out to try for 6, he'll be lucky. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
When you're down late in the game, you got to make plays. It's really tough not to force the football. You could tell quarterback forces the football. Defense comes up with a huge interception.
They've got him pinned back in a world of trouble, and listen to this crowd coming through. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Catch in the middle, it's Johnson. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. On 2nd down, they'll take to the air. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. He almost had the pick, and that could have given them a boost. Instead, it'll be 3rd down.
Ooh, you're living dangerously now. You've got the lead late in the game. Don't do anything to turn it over. And they almost did throwing it there. If I'm the head coach now, I'm thinking, man, let's just run the ball.
Looking to throw on 3rd. He's not afraid to go deep. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down.
And on that 3rd down play, there just wasn't any timing between the quarterback as an intended target. As a result, ball falls incomplete, setting up 4th.
They'll keep the offense on the field on 4th down already with a 1-possession lead. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive.
That's why that play call is so risky. At this area of the field in the second half, you've got the lead, you don't convert, and now you're giving the opponent a chance to tie it up, to take the lead. I think that's one, looking back, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but that's one they would have rather punted away, just played defense.
Looking to throw. Feeling some heat. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Timeout is called with just a single second left. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He's looking to throw. And down he goes. Had a chance to pull one out of the fire, and the defense slammed the brakes on it, and that's going to do it. Winning can become a habit. Now they've won back-to-back games and probably building a little confidence from that.
Yeah, and you want it to be a habit. That's what you talk about as a coach week after week. Let's build. Let's create momentum and continue to build on it. And then you look up at the end of the season, you never know where you could be, what dreams you could bring to reality.
At the end of the day, I think good teams find ways to win games. And over these last 2 games, it hasn't always been easy. They've had to overcome some adversity, but at the end of the day, they were able to step up, make the plays necessary, and do that. Very, very impressive.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.